A siren blared across Hawaii today for the first time since the end of the Cold War in an effort to prepare tourists and residents for a possible nuclear attack from North Korea. The state is the first to bring back the Cold War-era warning system, Hawaii emergency management officials said. The wailing siren sounded for a minute after the usual testing of the steady alert for tsunamis and other natural disasters that Hawaii residents are used to hearing. Emergency officials, like they do after every monthly test, were gathering information about whether any sirens malfunctioned or were too soft, said Vern Miyagi, administrator of the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency. There was little reaction from people on famous Waikiki Beach, where the test sounded very distant. I was out in the ocean playing around and I heard this siren, said tourist Tom Passmore from Calgary, Canada, adding that he didn't think much of it. I think it's a good idea, he said of the test, but judging by everyone's reaction around here nobody moved. Threat revived. The possibility of a strike is remote, but it's important to be prepared, Governor David Ige said this week. Hawaii is preparing for the possibility of a North Korean nuclear strike just days after the country fired off its most powerful weapon to date. The state has started testing the siren intended to alert people of an impending attack. IGE said the new test will ensure the public knows what they should do in case of an imminent attack. If a missile is launched, residents and tourists would have less than 20 minutes to take shelter, officials said. The state delayed the test for a month to let people know it would be happening, Miyagi said. Hawaii turned to public service announcements on TV and radio, town hall meetings, information on agency websites and media stories. Miyagi has previously said a nuclear strike on Hawaii would result in thousands of deaths, thermal radiation, severe damage to critical infrastructure and other chaos. But Hawaii no longer has any nuclear shelters. When the Cold War ended, funding for maintaining them ran out as the threat of attack ended. What would we do? Honolulu resident Mark Valdez was taking a walk in Ala Moana Beach Park during the test. He said he's heard some information about the test, but I wouldn't know what to do if there was an emergency. Nearby in the park, Thomas Haynes and his wife sat in hammocks as the siren sounded. We heard it quite clearly and it was effective, he said. I just didn't know what it was for. The Los Angeles residents, who stopped in Hawaii on their way to Australia, hadn't heard any information about the test. I assumed it was a test, Haynes said. I thought if it is a nuclear missile attack, there's nothing I can do about it, so I'm just going to relax. Karen Lindsay and Carolyn Fujioka, of Honolulu, continued eating their lunch during the test after a stand-up paddleboard session in Ala Moana Beach Park. They thought about how if this was a real emergency, there wouldn't be any time to do much. It's great to alert us, I guess, to say our last goodbyes, which is basically all you can do. Lindsay said. You just hope it never comes to that. Hawaii exposed the test comes the same week that North Korea fired a powerful nuclear-capable intercontinental ballistic missile it calls the HWASONG-15, leading analysts to conclude the nation has made a jump in its missile capability. The weapon would have a range of more than 13,000 kilometers, easily reaching the U.S. mainland. Hawaii is one of the closest states to North Korea, and its large military presence could make it more of a target. The island of Oahu is home to U.S. Pacific Command, the military's headquarters for the Asia-Pacific region. It also hosts dozens of Navy ships at Pearl Harbor and is a key base for the Air Force, Army and Marine Corps. The tests will continue on the first business day of every month. If the siren sounds because an attack is imminent, residents and tourists should get inside and stay tuned for further instructions, officials said.